to me because he knows that you'll come after him. So I'm glad that you've got my back. I appreciate that. We are going to jump
Chat loves
into
you, Dan.
the pistol round. I'm good. I'm glad.
Hi.
I mean, there are several reasons. Maybe it's because I have hair, so that is always going to be an advantageous point. And now you're going to be muted, so you can't even respond to that. We jump into the pistol round. It is going to be 1-1. We jump into the third map of this semi-final, Goldenboy, and I'm excited because I know I've predicted Sentinels, but honestly, Bind is one of those maps where if you gain momentum and if you start to be confident in a team, you can run away with things.
I just find that swap up of Phoenix and Cypher for Envy so interesting. But we'll get on that in a little bit here because on site right now in the garden, it's going to be Kaboose, and he has his ghost played in a very aggressive angle. Akis is going to be backing him up. No kills in quite yet, and Dapr gets 2 kills there, despite the fact that he was getting absolutely laced up with shots from that ghost. I mean, the man basically is living on a prayer at this point in time. Spike is down, and now we get ready for this potential retake here. It's going to be quite difficult, but the thing that goes to their advantage, Envy, is that mummAy and Calypso are going to be playing against 2 players that will be weak. I do not think that those are going to be the ones that expose themselves quite yet. But look for mummAy, though. mummAy does manage actually to get, never mind. mummAy gets tagged in the cubby, and Zombs was there. Sinatraa follows it up. So despite it being a wild start there with so many shots being exchanged, Sentinels managed to go through that with no one dead.
Yeah, which is always going to help their economy here as well. And I wonder whether they're going to go for the usual approach of just a few SMGs, maybe a Bulldog, and potentially a couple of Ghosts. Yeah, it's going to be 3 Ghosts, an SMG, and a Bulldog. So this is a slightly off buy. They feel like they are confident enough to win the round just with the 1 rifle and the 1 SMG. And we'll see whether they actually benefit from this. We have seen aggression from them. They do like to play kind of an A split on Bind. They like to send a couple through showers and then 3 up short and just try and suffocate the site with some smokes and whatnot. For now, though, I think because it is round 2 and it's going to be an eco round, they'll probably play this a little bit default, and Calypso walks right into the trap of Zombs. That is exactly what Sentinels want. They want to get that man advantage. Now they can force their way onto site with the SMG and with the rifle to back things up.
And Sinatraa completely clears out the lamps and will follow up with the kill there against mummAy. He had no options. And then as Sinatraa looks forward here, might get picked by this ghost, but he's just so clean with that Spectre. ShahZaM, final kill. And there's that glitch pop there with the effects and everything. Not a shocker. See, the glitch pop Bulldog, if I were to get this skin pack, I still haven't pulled the trigger, chat. If I were to get it, it would be because of that Bulldog. That thing is just, it's clean.
So then just get the Bulldog.
Yeah, but then I also want the knife too. I also want the knife too, but then the knife is like 4,000 credits, and then, you know, it's just, decisions have to be made, you know?
Mm-hmm. Tell you what, let's make a bet.
Oh,
if Envy win this game, I'll buy the Glitch Pops bundle. If Sentinels win this game, you buy the Glitch Pop bundle. How do we feel?
For myself?
Yeah.
So either way, I win. Oh, I'll take that one. I'm fine with that. Wait. Damn it. All right,
yeah,
fine.
now you realize what I've done.
Yeah, no, you just made me spend money. You douche. It's all good. I'll take it. You know what? I will take it. Why? Because I think Envy, slow start on the pistol rounds, and that's fine. But they are starting with defense first. They end this one out 7-4. They're actually a little... They're looking at it a more... Oh, God. They're looking at a more positive result here. Anyway, I'm just going to stop talking here and just let Dapr end this one. Sick gets the kill, but Dapr is going to contribute quite a bit. Both players are going to be left on the A site. They get the spike down. This is going to be another round win here for Sentinels. They look pretty good so far, but it's still early games here, Gaskin.
And all of this comes from their economy management from round 2, and I cannot stress this enough how good Sentinels are at doing this. By only buying the Ghosts for 3 of them, they were able to purchase up and get the rifles instead of purchasing up those SMGs like we see so many people full buy SMGs and then in the 3rd round carrying the SMGs into the 3rd. Instead, you can wallbang when you have rifles in the hand of Dapr, and he's taken full advantage of it. At least there are a couple of cleanup kills on the side of Envy. They've been able to kind of destroy that economy ever so slightly. But I think Sentinels are coming hunting for this. They want to guarantee this next round. And, well, mummAy's already been sprayed down, but he manages to get 1, but not the 2nd. And by doing that, by taking that weapon off of Envy, it means they are going to be on a complete eco, you would have thought, going into this 4th round, and almost guaranteeing the round for Sentinels, or at least it should be a comfortable one for them anyway.
I'm catching up with the chat here. I think everyone's been more blown away by the fact that I called you a word that I guess is a big deal.
That you what?
Apparently saying, I won't say it again for fear of getting the chat riled up, but apparently saying the D word that I said is a big deal. Despite that I don't know if our audience is aware, but that's fine. You know, it's okay.
I mean, I'm personally offended, so I agree with them.
Okay, well then. So I stand by my statement, clearly.
So this should be a clean round for Sentinels, but I always use that word should because it's not always a definite round for them. In the previous, Envy kind of played into the hands of Sentinels by pushing out and getting aggressive and looking to catch them off guard, and Sentinels were playing quite a default setup, and now they've been able to waltz onto the A site. They find 2, but at least Wtfmoses is there to get potentially a rifle here, and maybe Phoenix plus rifle could equal success.
Could be, but he's stuck in that corner, so Sick comfortably peeks that one. He's quite giddy with that kill. 2 players left alive now. It's Kaboose rounding the rear and then rounding the Kaboose as well. And then,
wow,
you know, wordplay. What can I say? It's my job. Oh, nice shot there. All right, well, the Akis cleanup is there as well. Zombs handles that one right underneath Heaven. And it's 4 rounds in just a simple, nothing too flashy, just clean for Sentinels, right? Like, they haven't done anything that's been mind-blowing. They've simply just reset the economy a few times for Envy. Envy now will be able to buy up some guns, but there has been, like, even this push right here from mummAy. I know that mummAy is just looking to make a play, but there just wasn't really much room for him to do so, right? No. He gets the lurk kill, but then, you know, what happens after that? There surely is going to be follow-up.
That's what Sentinels have wanted in these rounds. Like, that's what they've had so much success because they've managed their economy, but they've also just laid this trap for Envy to try and do something on their eco rounds, and Sentinels have said, hey, guys, let's just wait a second. If we see if Envy just come aggressively via A showers or they come B long and we pick them off, suddenly we've got a free entrance onto that side. We don't have to force our way onto that. Now that there's a proper buy for Envy, they're going to have to actually strategize and do something here, and at least Kaboose now is going to be the first point of defense. The showstopper doesn't connect. The entry for the team, and he gets a second, and Kaboose now starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, this is a good start for Kaboose. Probably to give them that momentum so that they can ride this one. Spike's going to be available right in front of them as well. The dark cover is going to block things out. Akis does manage to pick up Sinatraa inside of the dark cover. And then ShahZaM has to bail out of that. Zombs is going to be in this battle against Calypso, but Calypso will win it, leaving ShahZaM only to be the LMS and with the spike, 51 HP. And not a lot of hope here to get onto this site because over in the distance, you have mummAy who's watching as he pokes around with the op, and it's going to be good. And finally, Envy will stop this bleeding. They will get a big round win for them. And this is round 5, right? It's kind of been the, you know, Envy have done this before. If I go back and look at the stats, they kind of struggle in the beginning. I know that they won a few pistol rounds before, but a round 5 reset for them, it will be big, and it can be something that they can build upon.
And you know why that is? Often it's because it's the op round. It's the round where you're actually able to get your op player comfortable and they can be there for the picks and just be there to support you as well. You've got different angles that you can watch, and you're going to feel more comfortable on certain areas of the site when you know an op is there and available to you. But now Sentinels know that. They need to try and play this slightly differently, and one way to do that is ShahZaM getting a pick with mummAy, again getting a little bit frisky towards showers. Is it necessary? FNS getting it frisky as well towards the fountain here. But we are going to see a res traded out for another res. Oh, no, we're not. He doesn't go for the res in the end. Thought it was a bit risky.
Yeah, it was risky because that wall did not actually connect to the other side. So because of that, he could not properly invest into it. Now, though, they are going to be able to pick up Sinatraa and get back into this fight. A big win there for Calypso is going to leave him rather banged up. Kaboose on the outside, all the way in the back end of the map, does not manage to pick up the kill here, leaving just 2 players alive. It's going to be Akis alongside with FNS. They know where Akis is going to be, or at least where this one player is going to be located. And then we have a push coming toward the lamp side. Akis did see this. and we'll block him off. But Sick has the angle. Nice play there from FNS to actually poke at the opportune moment while these shots were being exchanged. It kind of left Sinatraa in a bit of a panic mode situation. The hot hands played out, but does not reach it. Spike is down there, and Akis had to go and make a play. Pick up the spike. A miss is going to happen. The Molly lineup there. Could it be enough to actually delay this? FNS is going to go for this and probably bait it out. And Zombs goes for the challenge. Zombs wins it out. That's Sentinel for 5.
Yeah, Zombs sent out the molly a little bit early because I think they were scared just in case it was going to be a hold for halfway. And I kind of feel like Akis should have held that halfway whilst the flame wall was up, whilst he had that cover, and then FNS was able to just watch on and make sure no one pushed out. But instead, he went for the tap, expecting someone to push out and be aggressive from the Sentinels side. But the Sentinels boys, they stayed strong. They held their angles. They trusted it wasn't going to be a hold. Sometimes it's a risky thing to do, but the knowledge shining through from Sentinels and then predicting and knowing the tendencies of this Envy roster. And now they take a 5-1 advantage, and the money again, not looking so good for Envy.
Envy was hoping that with that round, they can begin to build up a few more. Try and prevent this snowball from happening here.
Joke's over.
But ShahZaM has been the difference maker for them. And then Sinatraa goes in huge for a challenge. Kaboose gets the kill. Sick is there to help him out. And when Sinatraa actually gets in there, he thinks he's going to be met with just one player, maybe two. But because he has the bigger gun, he should actually win that fight. Instead, it was going to be 3 players there. And then ShahZaM now. Another shot. ShahZaM has been on fire with that op the entire time. Calypso so weak. Walls out, the short wall play. And the spike will go down.
I mean, just to say, I think Sinatraa did the right thing by pushing there because he took down the Phoenix ult. So naturally, you feel like you're in an advantageous position. You want to clean up that Phoenix ult whilst he is in the reset, but you're completely right. There's going to be several people there. It's just unfortunate for him. He didn't realize it was going to be a stack, but now with the spike down and with the player advantage, ShahZaM has an angle here, but Dapr will take down FNS. Now it's going to be the one remaining player of Akis, and he's got a little bit of a job to do here and not much time to do so. He's just going to float around this cyber cage to see if he can catch anyone out on default, but no one is going to be playing ball. And slowly but surely he's running out of time. He needs a frag right now, but I don't think he's going to have time to defuse this one. He's just going to have to retreat. A decent attempt, and in the end, not quick enough.
Yeah, a little bit more time, but unfortunately, time is the enemy for Envy at the end there. Sentinels 6-1 now, as they are looking to try and wrap this thing up, go into that upper bracket final, which will be taking place today, and be quite a great matchup for either team that make it there. I mean, the 4 teams that we have in the upper bracket are outstanding. I think TSM did win their battle against Immortals earlier on. Heard it wasn't quite the way that, well, at least I was expecting. I thought Immortals would have been a bit more challenging, but to go back and watch the VOD for myself in order to analyze that one. And either way, though, we're going to be given a phenomenal game between whoever makes it, whether it's Envy and Sentinels, because Envy are far from this, versus TSM. Then at the start of this round, though, they managed to punish Dapr down B long. They don't have a res to bring him back either. That wall is down, and nicely done from mummAy. The timing, gorgeous. Just trapped ShahZaM and bodies him.
Yeah, really nice trap. And Cyphers are having to get a little bit more creative now with where they put their traps because they are getting a little bit predictable as we get to this stage of the game. Like, Cypher's traps are getting a little bit stale. Of course, Killjoy will come into the mix. That might change things up a little bit. We might see Cyphers change over to the Killjoy. Sinatraa does take down FNS, and this is going to be the cue to maybe burst onto the B site, but there's a little bit of hesitancy because of the ultimate from the Omen. Now there's going to be the res, so they're probably going to ball here. But they could decide to stay. No, they go to Portal, and they're going to try and get onto A site quickly. But mummAy is going to be there, and he is going to be waiting.
Tripwire destroyed.
Now, he's not in a position, but he sees exactly where they're going to be coming through there. Sinatraa just flies. He got to get through, but he can't do it there. And now Akis is finally going to be able to pick up the kill. So Sinatraa does go down. Kaboose right on the outside of heaven. Kills Zombs. Dapr in short with only a Bulldog. Spike is down, and Sick, another kill for him. And Dapr, he's going to make that Bulldog work. the retake here, the opportunity now that they have, and no, he goes in with the classic. I was gonna say the opportunity that Envy had in order to prevent them from getting onto that site was squandered the moment mummAy died.
Yeah, and even though Dapr went down early, Sentinels recognized they had the possibility of picking up the ultimate orbs. They got the ultimate orbs, they got the res that was available, picked him up, and then after they heard the Omen teleport, they were like, okay, well, A site is going to be somewhat free here. And it was somewhat free. mummAy was there with the op, but of course very difficult to hit a raise that is flying through the sky. And Sinatraa doing very well yet again to get those important entry frags. Sentinels go 7-1 up. Envy's money is not looking great, and we're potentially looking at 8-1 here, unless we see something special, but Sick is going to be there to get the double, and now they can push onto that B site if they want, but actually it's just going to be the wall there to ensure that nothing stupid happens, and it's just easy pickings at this point when you've got rifles and they don't.
Enemy down.
And also an op. Let's not forget about that. So only Calypso is left alive here to try and fend off against 4 members. Does get a kill against 1. Does not find the second. Dapr will be there to trade it out. And this is getting a little out of hand for Envy to claw back into this game. I think they couldn't wait for this half to come sooner. But the problem is that they can't let this get too out of control, or else it's going to make the comeback on the half that much more challenging.
I mean, especially when we're looking at a team that was able to get 12 rounds in a row when they played against Faze on this map, right? Like, we know that Sentinels can be very strong on bind, and that was why I said to Moses, it depends which Sentinels turns up. The Sentinels who played against Faze, or the Sentinels who played against Gen G. And it looks like it's going to be that Sentinels maybe learn their lesson with their loss against Gen G on this map, and with an 8-1 advantage on their attacking side, even if this ends 8-4, I think they're going to be more than comfortable defending, as Kaboose will get the opener onto Dapr yet again. Dapr just being caught out there. Kaboose doing very well to do so, and Calypso's there with a follow-up. So this round's starting to look a little bit better now for Envy.
Yeah, they can slow this push down for Sentinels and not really let them get onto the site too quickly. Issue is that mummAy is very weak, and they have not been able to get a heal for him. Calypso is going to run into the brim in a moment's notice. He's right around the corner. And as soon as he pokes his box, he's going to see him. There he is. But Zombs, man, this guy, dude, he's unbelievable. The smokes are down. Now, this is more to just actually throw them off the scent as to where they're going to be. If you play these smokes out, but little does he know that Evanescence is going to be right behind the corner, which he successfully manages to get that kill. The B push, or the 8 push, I should say, not going to happen at all, considering that only 1 player was going to be there. And then the B push gets stuffed just as all that activity took place by Shower Doorway. They thought that they had that opening. So now 8-4, maybe that's the best that they could. Well, at this point now, yeah, it's 10-2 is the hope that they could get. Better than what it could have been, especially what they did against Faze Gaskin, but it just gets more and more challenging as these rounds go on.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Either way, we are going to see Sentinels have a dominant half here, even if it is 8-4. And that is then going to ask the questions of what actually Envy can do on their attacking side, which is going to be exactly the same as the questions we asked them on Ascent, but that's what you can do. FNS just trying to change up the tempo a little bit here, and he will get 2 frags.
I like that.
Sick is there to get the resurrect, but I like it as well, GB. I like that you've just changed it ever so slightly, and you've tried to surprise Sentinels, and surprise them he did.
Yeah, and he gets a kill, forcing the res. So they will be right back into a position where they have not a numbers advantage, but it will be 4-4.
Yeah, he got 2 kills. Like, it's just incredible, really.
Yeah, from a push like that, that was... did he even use a flash out of that? I think he actually just went for it. The snipe was exchanged. I think Calypso hit, or not hit, but shot it, and then he just swung. No, it could have been mummAy. Yeah, it seems like it may have been mummAy. Either way, though, the op play was really smart. Here comes 100's Fury. ShahZaM doesn't get the tag, but the follow-up is there for Zombs. Akis, though, does get 2 kills, though, and ShahZaM in the back. That's going to be unfortunate for Kaboose, who ended up just getting revealed, so he knew exactly where he was going to be. What a shot! But ShahZaM is the hero of that round and will manage to make this 9-2. So the hope for Envy fans is that Envy can get 9-3 to finish this out, but 10-2 will be devastating for them as Sentinels will shift things over in the half to defense. What a start, though. I appreciate the just the ambition from FNS to go in for that one.
Notice how quick Sick was to get the res, though. As soon as he had got that trade, instant res. There was no wall, there was no hesitation, there was no delay. He just trusted the fact that he could res and then face aggressively to ensure that no one was going to be able to trade it out afterwards. And that, again, is just the confidence of Sick on this Sage. He is incredible. This whole lineup on Sentinels is incredible. Envy, they need to make a game of this, and if they're going to do so, they need to get a third round, in my opinion, and then the pistol round. We are going to see Showstopper get popped, and he is going to predict well Calypso will get caught out.
Yeah, he knew exactly where he was because he heard the footsteps of the jumping. He had to bail from that. And then to make matters even worse, he had to only go behind that corner or else he was going to have to incur the wrath of the Showstopper. Spike is down, though. They've gone full cross to the other side of the map. They actually might be able to get this defused. They're going to be holding down the doorway. They went right in for it. The defuse is going to come in right at the nick of time, and they get 9-3. So many explosions happening there, and they pushed right clear on forward to try and remove any players that are going to be located on their side without worrying about who's going to be coming from the defenders front. So 9-3, that is the hope that Envy was able to get. Hopes and dreams do come true, perhaps, but now they're going to need to figure this out on attack. Gaskin, they don't have a lot of time to do it. These next pistol rounds are going to be critical for them.
That is a lifeline, though. They had no right winning that round, but credit to FNS for sticking it and for all of the abilities they used just to cover him and ensure that it wasn't going to be an easy peek on the other side. And I feel like Sentinels earlier, how after they'd watched kind of the taps on the spike, they probably thought there's no way they're sticking this, but alas, FNS just changing things up again.
It was the portal too. So when the portal player came in, for some reason, and I think it was because Sinatraa had went so far deep at that point that they were just so focused on removing that player because off the flank it could have been a big problem. Now though, mummAy, a first blood for Zombs, or a first blood for mummAy onto Zombs. Zombs has been great this game. Great this whole series, honestly.
Envy need this round though, GB.
Yes.
If they don't win this
desperate.
pistol and they're 11-3 down, then they're not going to have room for experimentation on their pushes. There's no room for mistakes whatsoever. If they can pick up the pistol round, get 2, then at least they have time to kind of flip-flop between sites, try and work out where Sentinel's weaknesses are, and try and force their way in a variety of different scenarios. Instead, if they lose this pistol, they're not going to have the ability to do so. But at least they've started it well. They do have the player advantage. And they are just going to slowly worm their way back to A. And it's going to be an A split. 2 in bathrooms at the moment, and the other 3 are going to go short. And it is a stack towards B for Sentinel. So there's only going to be 1 player. It's going to be ShahZaM. He has to do a lot. He does get a big tag there. But at least he's done his job to slightly delay and gain the info.
Yeah. The wall placed, blocking ShahZaM. Not going to be the short wall, though, by the way. And they will get inside of sight. And I think it's because they just wanted to get ownership of the area rather than giving up so much real estate and allow Calypso to actually get ahead onto the metal wall where Heaven is, where this door is. And he gets the kill. Calypso, unbelievable. Only player now standing. It's going to be Sick. No health remaining. Calypso's 3 kills is what will give Envy this 4th round win. And I was going to comment on this right before that push happened, Gaskin. 9-5, you're talking about you know, not the best situation, but winnable.
But I've certainly noticed that Bind, I mean, everyone always asks the questions of what is the map? Is it attacking heavy? Is it defending heavy? For the majority, maps are going to be defending heavy if the team knows how to defend, right? But at the same time, if a team has put in the practice and they can consistently burst onto sites and their post plants are great, there's no reason why a map like Bind couldn't be attacking heavy. We saw how Sentinels were able to constantly penetrate. They found the weaknesses of Envy. If Envy can do exactly the same thing to Sentinels, then you can always take advantage of having that player advantage. It's just all about those post plants. If you can get into secure positions like lamps, like showers, it becomes very difficult for the retakes to happen. But Sentinels are very good at retaking sites. That's something we really noticed on Split and Ascent, to be honest. So that is going to be the real difficulty for Envy, is not allowing Sentinels to comfortably retake.
Yeah, and I don't even think that Sentinels will even think about the possibility of a retake that would work out for them. I mean, it could very well be the case, but the spike's gone down. They're all going to be trying to just frag from one another and potentially just bursting through the defender's side. Watch out, though. Anything is possible. As you always like to say, Gaskin, the possibilities are truly endless.
They are endless on pistol rounds, but this ain't quite a pistol round, but there are pistols in the hands, and Sick been able to get the opening frag onto Akis. He's got the second ShahZaM, gets a third, and suddenly this round is a little bit doable, GB. Calypso does have the paranoia, and he has the rifle, so it's going to be a lot down to him. He has to teleport, but he falls, and Sentinels, I said about the retakes, they do it just with pistols.
What? That was stupendous. Like, they gave up sight completely, and they let Envy have a sense of comfort on B. But even then, they never really had a post plant where I feel like they were comfortable. They got spiked down, and then from there, I think it was played a cyber cage. You had one player located inside of metal, like in on-site metal, but he turned away at the wrong time because he was hearing footsteps to his left, and then the player swung right. So that is just a heartbreaker now. That was a win for Envy. That had to have happened for them. They needed that desperately. The stats were on their side, but Sentinel says, stats be darned, we don't care about this. Now we got a technical pause here.
I mean, so
what a play that was, Gaskin.
Envy tried to do what Sentinels did right in their first half. They tried to manage their economy there. They've gone for a couple of ghosts and they've gone for one rifle. Calypso had that rifle, but he went all the way back to long. And one thing that Sentinels did very well, I don't know if it was intentional or not, was they just blocked off that site completely, took all the close range fights with the players who had the pistols, and they made it very difficult for Calypso to be able to get any sort of trades because he had no visibility. He couldn't even see the players that were on the site. So whether that's down to maybe the positioning of Calypso and he should have been in a somewhat more aggressive position, I don't know. But either way, Sentinels, that retake was absolutely phenomenal, and that really just shows their ability. Like, all 5 players just stacking one site, trying to gamble, but then also being able to retake that successfully is a sign of a great team.
I think that Kaboose will look back at that moment and kick himself because if he gets that kill and swings over toward the doorway where the cyber cage was located and the smokes were out, if he actually gets that kill, it makes that fight more challenging. But Sick, though, you've been praising him, and it's 100% legit because he has, no matter what weapon is in his man's hand, he charges through sights with reckless abandon, or so you may think. And he does so every single time because he knows that his teammates are there and they have his back.
Man, I'm just waiting for the day that I get to see Sick versus David P, both playing Sage, and just seeing all of the carnage that unfolds, because that is going to be a wonderful day. But we're back underway, 10-4 to Sentinels, and they are not slowing down whatsoever. Sheer aggression at the start of this round, and they've been able to get 3. Envy try and burst onto the site, but it's not going to work out because all the angles were being covered. Calypso is going to be the final member in bathrooms, and to be fair to him, he's actually done some damage. Gets 2 kills with a ghost, but it's going to be 11-4, and now Envy, they very much need this round.
This road will only get more arduous as this battle continues. Envy, you said it, Gaskin, need this round more than ever. But the way that Sentinels are playing, it shuts you down. It gives you no hope. And it's because, like, at the start of a round, right, if you're not worrying about Sinatraa here on B side, you got to be concerned about ShahZaM and whatever the heck that guy might do. And then you play this Showers Peak here. Zombs could very well get this first blood if Calypso isn't careful. I know he's trying to play the lurk and he's listening for that pickup of the orb, but that's not going to come. They're playing for the picks. They don't really care much for that orb. I mean, it'd be great if he gets it, because if he kills Calypso here, he's got an orbital strike, and then it becomes even more difficult for Envy to win this round.
Yeah, Zombs just being really patient here. Both players actually showing extreme patience and not pushing through a smoke, not doing anything too silly, and Zombs respecting the what Envy have to offer, to be honest. I mean, at 11-4, if this was just a normal game, Zombs is probably like, screw it, I'm going to go for the orb, I'm going to try and pick this up, I'm going to get aggressive. But they know they don't need to here, and they know that Envy have the capability to get back into this game. They have the skill level to do so as well. So instead, they just play this one slowly, they play this one calm, and they're going to force Envy to actually make the first move. Where that first move is going to be, currently looks like it's going to be towards the B site. Calypso is still lurking, but of course he does have the teleport to join the action if they are able to gain control of this B site.
A few smokes are going to be played out, and Calypso does TP over to elbow. Gives them enough to work with here.
Time.
Yeah, but time is their enemy. Kaboose does manage to pick up a kill, but will be cleaned up immediately. 6 there for the help, though, but there you go. A few members of Envy are actually going to be able to pick up some kills. Now Sinatra's going to be trapped behind this wall. Spike is now planted. This was an important round for Envy, as we noted before. They need to win this. It is a 3v4, though. Zombs will be joining the action a little bit and does manage to win that fight, despite the fact he's going to go down to 3 HP. A wraparound.
He was available.
That's right. Sinatra's waiting to poke back in. He knows exactly where they're going to be. 2 kills, though, and finally, Envy. They can breathe a sigh of relief for a moment. A 5th round win for them. A big round at that. One that you can build off of. We'll see in this next one.
And this takes me all the way back to how both teams are very good under pressure, right? Very calm. With only 15 seconds left to get onto the site and plant, Envy were able to get enough trades. They were able to check their angles effectively and still get that spike down. A lot of teams would have crumbled when they saw that timer and they knew that time was against them. They would have panicked. No, Envy not doing so, and Sentinels just weren't able to react quick enough to the aggression that suddenly popped out from Envy. And 5th round will now get them a little bit closer to believing that they can get back into this game. Still a long road ahead, but definitely doable if they can continue to find that same success of bursting onto sites.
A little deja vu from the previous round between Zombs and Calypso. This time, Zombs is going to abandon that a little bit faster. Orb is picked up for Sick. They used Res in that last one. It didn't really work out for them in the end. Now they're just going to wrap back around. Calypso's been working this, and this is what happened last round. But he went in with the TP, and I think the TP that Calypso took toward elbow with the 2 players stacked there was like good enough for them to feel confident to push this. Now in this round, it's just going to have to be peeking, waiting, playing slowly. The smoke is going to come down in a moment here too. ShahZaM is waiting on this one.
Joke's over.
But this is exactly what he did last time. A few of the smokes, as well as the dark cover, is going to force ShahZaM to have to go back. The wall's going to be placed, but there's the orbital strike to force them away. A little split up here for all these players. And that player that was going to be split up was the Phoenix in the backfield. Dapr is dangerously low inside of lamps. They swing it, and they are going to be rewarded with a kill. Every round for Envy at this point is going to be massive. No one in a position to support the plant, but the plant is out. Now, Sick has the angle. Is there a teleport available? So shots exchange. He's safe to know that he can just wait this one out. Does transition over. ShahZaM's still alive with the op. Only 8 bullets for Sick, though. He needs to make this go happen right here, and he's successful. Calypso's there to back him up, but ShahZaM right in the nick of time, and then it's going to be the rival Opera and mummAy who cleans it up, giving Envy a 6-round win.
Nice executes coming out of Envy, though. Really just splitting apart that A site and forcing back the op. Of course, they did use ultimates to get onto the site. The run it back came out, but at the same time, we saw ults used from Sentinels. Hunter's Fury and Orbital Strike were used that, and they didn't win that round. It means that Calypso is going to have the ult yet again. And I mean, I think we've seen a real development of how he's played Omen, because people originally were trying to kind of be sneaky with their teleports, teleport far enough away so no one heard them and they could be kind of in a defender spawn. But now it's just, I'm going to teleport in their face. I'm going to give you as much information as possible, because information is huge in this game. If you at least find out where 2 players are, that's going to be a real advantage to the rest of the team who are charging onto that site. And this is going to be a weak buy now for Sentinels and a chance for Envy to get a 7th on the board.
Uh-oh. FNS needs to be careful not to lose this one out. Another shock dart comes through. He's at 23 HP. Whew. That could have been real bad if they lost FNS there. Zombs on the flank will run into Calypso in a moment. 2 players also rotating from the defender side as B-site will be left alone. The spike looks like they're going to be bringing this over toward A. Watch out, though, for Zombs. Because he can actually be the bane of every member of Envy's existence right now. But not if Calypso has anything to say about it. Dapr, a stinger, that's always going to be good for 1 kill, and does manage to get that. And no one was there to trade it out, so because of that, he will... Well, he finally dies, but even then, credit where credit is due by utilizing that weapon. Now it's just going to be Zombs, who went on that flank and actually backed around again, Gaskin. So no real winnable opportunity here for him to try and stop this and give them that match point.
It's because there was a Cypher trap there, and he shot the Cypher trap, so they now know the area he's going to be in. He's either going to be coming from short or he's going to be coming from shower. So there was no flanking potential because of that Cypher trap, which was a shame because Zombs did have a nice little flank. But in the end, that's how powerful Cypher can be at stopping flanks from actually happening and the amount of information that can be gathered from him. So it's going to be 11-7. Sentinels still firmly the favourites here and have the advantage, and they're just 1 round away from getting close to actually winning this series. The Envy slowly but surely working their way back into this one now, and I'm sure that element of doubt will start to creep into the minds of Sentinels of, okay, we could throw this one away here. Envy definitely have the potential to get back into it. Ultimates are there and available. Neural Theft, the Res, Showstopper, and the Teleport for Envy. So this next round, definitely a lot rides on it in terms of resetting the economy yet again for the Sentinels side, but just getting closer and closer to try and tie this one up.
And Envy has to be happy with this too, right? They look like it was all just going to be a wrap. No real winnable opportunities for them. But, you know, I think they've proven that they can certainly exchange with the best of them. But now, though, Sinatra's going to try and go in here. Rival Showstoppers actually doesn't get a kill off screen. Dapr, a shot onto mummAy could be big for them and get him 1 step closer to that match point. Both players are going to back away. Dapr does not hit the shot. Bails out of this one. And Akis is going to be waiting for him. And if he pokes this, he will be shot. Oh, look at that. The trigger discipline from Dapr. He waited for that moment. He wanted him to expose just a little bit more. They need to use that res. Akis is going to get the res onto mummAy, but while that's going on, FNS is going to be killed, and the Neural Theft has been activated, so they know exactly where the members of Envy are going to be located. 55 seconds remaining, but that has just been awesomely played there by Dapr. Well done, man. Just slowing this momentum for Envy that they were gaining.
Yeah, big that they were able to get an op in the hands of him and actually make it count too. We've seen how influential the op play can be, not just on Bind, but several different maps throughout this tournament. And now there was a little fake towards A, but it's back towards B yet again, and they may have been able to bamboozle them here. You can see several members of Sentinels are going to be rotating back towards A, and if they time this right, Envy, it's going to be another late and fast burst onto the site.
Camera.
15 seconds, it's deja vu yet again, GB.
Yeah, the camera's going to see him. Okay, so he's playing by defenders. These players are going to be making their way back in. The camera does manage to spot it. 10 seconds remaining, though. Calypso does get a headshot on Sinatraa. Dapr's going to be in the middle of the dark cover, and the spike has now gone down. Calypso playing this doorway here, and I don't think that they're going to want this happen the way that it happened in the pistol round. So he actually scoots over toward that box. Punishes Sick, looking for another one. 2 players are going to be tucked away back there, and 1 on the flank by the elbow as Kaboose continues to patrol this one. Another headshot for Kaboose. This nade is going to force back the opera. ShahZaM needs to bail. Dapr going back to his teammate, and it looked like it was all going to fall to pieces. But if they can walk away with the double ops here, oh, 1 kill. Spike is going to go off. They will win this round, but they will get 2 ops still. They'll hold on to these weapons and hold the angles for this next round win. Envy not out of the fire yet.
But definitely a real difference going from a Sent where Envy didn't really have those executes down. It was very much a map they weren't particularly comfortable with, whereas we move over to Bind now, and as I say, most teams should know at least how to play Bind in some form. Like, you know the default setups, you know the default strategies, but I'd say the playbook is running a little bit deeper than I expected for these Envy boys. They very much know how to kind of back and forth between the A and B site. They played around the Neural Theft so successfully there by being able to convince Sentinels that it was going to be an A take. That's twice now. They've waited for 15 seconds before they pushed onto the site. And bear in mind, of course, it's going to take 4 seconds to actually plant that spike. That leaves you with very little time to get your kills and get that spike down. So Envy,
Yeah,
they are cutting it fine, but they're doing it very successfully.
I mean, Cutting it extremely close, Dan. Oh, so ShahZaM goes for an aggro op on mummAy. Now remember, they lost that last round and the buys across the board, besides the 2 ops that they managed to hold on to, that's all they could really work around with now. And even then, they still get the job done. The molly will be blocked by the wall. They have ownership of Heaven too. Calypso has been called out, so he needs to just jump out of this one. He does manage to bail to the shower. How does this retake happen? It seems like it might actually happen off of the Sheriff from Zombs, but Akis is going to end that one immediately now. Still playing by this bench. Sinatraa dancing around the elbow, or excuse me, the L box. 2 players there. They both went for the peek. ShahZaM gets the kill on the Sage. As Calypso now plays outside and he missed the shot. That is going to be a rare one there, which is giving FNS an opportunity to pick up a double. So both ops are going to be down, and I think that they're just going to go, whoa, right after this one.
What's happening?
Knife battle. I don't get it, but that's fine. It works out for them. So the ops are gone. They saved, but hey, now it's 9-11.
This is getting a little bit sketchy now. I mean, I said that
See,
seed
when
of
you
doubt.
said that beginning, and when you said that in the beginning, I was like, I think they're fine. But now it's 9-11.
I mean,
it's clear.
if this was the envy of a few weeks ago, I would have been like, yeah, this is still Sentinels game. But this is a different kind of envy, this tournament. They looked very strong when they won in their previous one. They took down C9, and here's Kaboose with the opener as well. A nice little wallbang onto Sinatraa with some raise on raise action. And yeah, they've got the player advantage going into this 21st round. And if they can convert it, suddenly it's 11-10. Sentinels money isn't looking great. We might be looking at 11-11. This is a game that is screaming overtime if Envy can just pick up just 1 or 2 more rounds just to continuously reset the money of Sentinels. I mean, they're very 2 closely contested teams. And again, this is just showing the depth of North American Valorant.
I like the fact that Kaboose hugged the double boxes because they know that they have a TP. Or sorry, a TP. You hear me? A res. Wrong magical ability. They have a res. And they're just going to wait on this body and let their teammates get some work done on the B long area. Whereas Dapr's taking a look at that.
You're dead.
He's called it now. There goes the flash. He's going to flash both of them, but they don't know that Six is going to be in that corner still. They're only going to know about the 1 player.
Nowhere to run.
And that was beautiful. Six didn't go for the shot. He didn't try and get just reckless. And that is going to pay off. But what could actually pay off here is the fact that Calypso is creeping around the side. Dapr gets a kill as well. That's only going to leave just 1 player left alive. And it is going to be Calypso. He has been amazing this game. But they don't have the spike. They don't have it down. They're looking. They see exactly where Calypso is going to be. And this is going to be the round. Sentinels now at series point. But Envy have scratched and clawed their way back into this one, Gaskin. But now you start to sweat if you're both teams.
Can we just rewind a little bit for FNS using run it back, pushing into hookah? I am convinced he looked left there, saw that the player was flashed, decided not to kill him, and decided to try and opt to get someone who was to the right. I mean, I may be wrong. That's just the way I saw it. He certainly could have gone for that play, just give the information, try and guarantee the 2nd kill, and then the teammates can rush in afterwards. But it didn't work out, if that was the case. And I am just speaking hypothetically because it was difficult to see because we obviously just had a blind screen. But either way, Sentinel's doing very well to hold there. It was another late push from Envy. You're completely right. They were just trying to stall it out, wait and see if the res was going to come through. Alas, it didn't. Until later on. And now Envy with their backs truly against the wall here. And they have to play absolutely perfect Valorant.
Kaboose can die. Oh, man. I was going to say Kaboose cannot die. With the showstopper, he needs to stay alive. 1 HP and literally the dream of Envy staying in this match. Rested on that moment. Also a massive kill. Removing the Sage, so no stall, no wall.
Removing Sick, who's just blumming amazing.
Yes.
But like
And
the
I also
confidence
like the
to do
fact he
that.
used blumming.
Yeah, that is a word that is in the English vocabulary.
No,
alright?
I know it is. I know it is. I have like 5 British friends. You're one of them.
Yes, and I'm number 5.
Yes.
12-9. The fact that you've done that at 12-9, like you've been confident to push on your own without anyone there to trade, shows a lot here for Envy. And there's Kaboose again, hitting big shots. And he needs to be hitting these shots if Envy have a chance of actually doing this.
Oh man, the B-side's going to be available to them. Also, Calypso lurking. He's still on A. So he's waiting. And I think now Sentinels, they're just going to have to give this one up. There's no reason. They can't afford it. If they go and push, they lose their guns. I mean, that's going to be devastating. That's going to make Calypso's job here even more important.
Kaboose just surprising everyone, like hitting those shots. Surprising me so much. I think I might end up with hiccups with the way he's playing right now. Like, he's just so confident in taking these 1v1s.
Ooh.
It is incredible. They want to try and take off some of the guns, though, I would have felt, of these two saving players. But it's also a risk in losing their own. And we're going to be looking at a 12-10. Sentinels able to get up to that match and series point, but Envy very much still in this game.
I think they were more concerned about removing the op out of ShahZaM's hands.
Well, yeah, look at this money. I mean, they're not going to force up around this op because it would be silly to do so because they lose the round and suddenly they'll have no money. They can half buy with some SMGs. But if you look at just rifles alone and what is available to Envy and Sentinels here, Envy should be taking this round. And then suddenly it's 12-11, and it's a last chance for Sentinels to take this match in series before we head to a potential overtime.
What a game. What a series. Envy just showing us that this is a new team. And I know that you and I have casted together We Are Terrific. That has now become Envy a few times now. And we always sung their praises. They were an unsigned team that every event just seemed to improve little by little by little. But to see this dramatic improvement against one of the finest of North America, the finest right now in North America, it's significant. It's big. It's big for them.
Their hearts are definitely going to be racing here in sweat. Yeah. I'm sure, dripping down every single possible angle of their back. But they need to ensure they don't focus on that sweat. Make sure you just wipe it off, get rid of it, because you need to focus off and take this to an overtime if you're going to win this game.
He's got to go for the shot here. Kaboose is going to be deep inside of the site. That's fine. One. It's going to be a kill against Sinatraa. Huge as he's still going to be inside, but look out for Sick, though. And also another kill comes through. Kaboose is going to secure 3 kills, and Kaboose can actually bring them back. Oh, no! No, he doesn't get through the TP room, and it's even worse because it's going to be stuck inside of the room. They can't get in there. They need to get someone to actually wrap around. Wtfmoses can still very much win this game. He has to fly. He has to fly inside, but once he gets that, he's got to go through it. They got to go for it. They get out. They got to plant this one down. They don't have time. No, they don't have time. They don't have time. And it boils down to mere seconds between Sentinels and Envy. And Sentinels win 13-10.